crafty people, and welcome to my channel. Today's episode of Saturday Sketches and Fun-Fold Cards series. I am doing a 6x6 one sheet wonder paper busting template, whatever, however you want to call it. I have actually never done one like this before, so I thought I'd give it a shot. This particular one is the 6x6 paper busting template number 28 by Jess Crafts from jesscrafts.com. She has a ton of different sketches or paper busting templates that you can use, and it's like 6x6, 12x12, 6x8, 8x8. She has a ton of sketches, so if you go over to her website you can look at them all. But let's get started. So some of the supplies I'm using today, I have this new paper from Jules and Jolly. This is from Recollections from Michael's. And then I thought that this matched perfectly with the Gina K Designs Petunia. The pink in there matched very, very well. So we need to get this all cut up. So I'm just looking at it. So we can cut this strip here. So it's cutting in half, so 3 and 3. And then this is 4 and 2. 3 and 3, and then this is 1.5, 1.5, 3. So this is directional paper, so I need to be mindful of that while I'm cutting. Let me first take the branding strip off. So we'll get this down to a perfect 6x6. Okay, and then we need to cut it in half lengthwise, so 3 inches. Okay, so now we have the 2 halves, so this needs to be 3x3, so I'm cutting this one in half. So then we'll have 2 3x3s. And then this one, we can either cut it this way or cut it this way. I think I'll go with this. We'll have a bigger piece to hold on to. So I'm going to go at 1.5. Just making sure it's lined up. Okay. So we have 2 strips at 1.5. And then we need to cut this down to 4 inches. Just lining it up there on the 4. Okay. So we have 1.5 by 4, 1.5 by 4, 1.5 by 2, 1.5 by 2, 3 by 3, and 3 by 3. Right, so we don't have any waste on our pattern paper, which is totally awesome. Ahead of time I did cut the mats for this, and they are a 1/4 inch bigger. So these 1.5 by 4, you would have a 1 3/4 by 4 1/4. The 3 by 3s, you would have 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. And the 1.5 by 2s, you would have 1 3/4 by 2 1/4. And I will put a picture of this on my blog so you can check it out. And you don't need to worry about writing down any of the measurements. Just want to set this aside so we can check it out. I'm going to grab one of each over there. Get that out of the way and we can get started on this. So the first one I'm sticking very closely to the sketch. So we just need to put the layers together. Okay, so we have those pieces, and I'm actually the little piece for this one, I have traded it in for a one of the cut aparts in the paper. So I just backed that with the mat and then trimmed off the edges there, and I punched a hole in that with my We Are Memory Keepers hole puncher. It's got a whole bunch of different ones in there. That's kind of funny. So anyway, so we have this, and we have this, and we have this, and then I have this little bow that I made to go on there. I thought that would look super cute. That is from, that's a Stampin' Up ribbon. It's the glittered organdy ribbon that is in the white. So it's very pretty, and the glitter in it picks up all the other colors on there. Just a little bit of housekeeping. I will, like I said, I put all the measurements over in the description and on my blog, and I will also list all of the things that I used in the same places. So, and I do have affiliate links. Let's get this put together. And this is very easy. For that piece, I was just looking at the sketch. It looks close to the left with an equal border on the top and the bottom. And then the square is the same on that side. So we've got to put that on now. And what I think I'll do is I will actually put this on here just as a way to even this out a little bit, because you don't want it to be varying levels. Okay, and since this one's going right on top of there, we don't need to put anything underneath that. Okay, and then I'm going to put this on with a glue dot. Just grab one off of there. Trying to think which way I like it better. And when you have a little bow, you can kind of squinch up your glue dot so it's not hanging out. Okay, look at that. So cute. And actually, I didn't think of it because we had used a different one. You could turn this over to use a different pattern on there. Here is the inside. So here's the inside. I have the Petunia matte layer. I cut a strip from the paper pack. We have the Merry and Bright, and that's in Petunia, and then we have a snowflake, and that is in Ultinude Twilight Sky. I'm just going to use a little temporary adhesive and put this in here. Okay, so now this one is complete. This is the first one. It's pretty much exactly to the sketch. And the second one will step up just a little bit. Let me get this cleaned up and I'll be right back. Alright, here are pieces for the second card. And again, we have the same little cut pieces according to the sketch. This one I am flipping around to look like that. I love this other side on there. So I'm going to get that put together. I do have, this is, I don't know if you've ever seen this. This is Spellbinder's brushed white cardstock, and it is fabulous. And I embossed it with the Simon Says Stamps Blended Snowflakes embossing folder. And then I heat embossed this Happy Holidays onto some Gina K white. And this is the Gina K silver embossing powder. It looks gorgeous. And then I just used the Petunia ink and used my blending brush and just went around the edges and just did a little bit through the middle, and then you wipe it off with your towel or paper towel to get the ink off of the heat embossing. But look at how shiny that is. So good, so good. Yeah, so this is the Fine Detail Silver. This particular stamp and die set, this is called Merry and Light, and this is only over at Simon Says Stamp. This came from a kit that is like a lesson that Gina did with Simon, and it's actually on the 21st today when I'm filming this. So you can go I'll put a link over, so you can go watch this on YouTube. So it was a class that Gina and Heidi did from Simon Says Stamp. So I have that. From that, use the snowflake on the inside, and I used the die to cut that out. And what I did is I backed it with a piece of the Petunia, and then I cut this very bottom piece because I'm not sure how the pieces are going to line up, and we might need to support this under just the kind of swooshy and the Y. So we'll have to see how that goes. And then I have these gorgeous, these are from Recollections. This is these pearl snowflake stickers. So I thought that we could use that on there. Alright, let's get putting this together. I think there's a lot of flat space on here, so I think I'm just gonna put all this together with my tape runner. And this panel is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. I just wanted to have a little teeny tiny border on there. And then I'll use my tape runner to get all of these pieces together. All right, I think, let's see. It's kind of lumpy bumpy, but I think we can still use tape runner on it. Okay, so here we are with the sketch. So far we have had we did a background mat, and we did the embossing folder on that. I flipped over the papers, so these were opposites, so we get the two pattern effect. Alright, and now we're going to put on this Happy Holidays, and I wanted to put it along the bottom here. So I'm just trying to kind of see, it's only a little bit on the bottom. Just trying to see how far we need to go, because we can trim this a little bit. Okay, I think that'll work. I'm just going to glue this on. I think that'll be perfect. So I'm just going to put glue on this whole thing now. Just going to put a block on there. That's a great tip if, you know, if you have a die cut that would be very difficult to put foam tape behind. It's very skinny in there. It'd be hard to do. Just cut a piece of, you know, cut another die cut, and then you can always just, you know, take a section off so you have what you need. So just along that bottom is where we have that extra layer. We can put these snowflakes on. I'm going to put in the inside in first, and so the Merry and Bright, which I thought was perfect with the pink, is from the Gina K Designs Stamptember collection. Unfortunately, this is just limited edition. But you can find another sentiment that will work perfectly for what you're doing. Alright, and I love that snowflake. And then this, just like on the other one, I used one of the strips that's in the paper pack, and I just cut it down and then glued it right on the side. It's a very easy way to decorate the inside, and everything matches, and we're good to go. Alright, let's check out these snowflakes. These are so pretty. I don't know if I want to go like this way or this way. I think a little one. All right, so there is our second card, and this one, you know, we did just upgrade it a little bit with the embossing and all of the things, and doing the heat embossing on the front for the sentiment. These beautiful little snowflake stickers. The inside. This is so pretty. And how ridiculously easy were these cards? Like, that was amazing. I don't know why I have never used a like a paper one sheet wonder thing before, so I should do that more often. Anyway, so again, this sketch was from Jess Crafts, and I will link her website and her channel in the description box and over on my blog. And this very easy 6x6, we have two beautiful cards. These are great. This one's a little simple, still beautiful. This one's upgraded a little bit, still beautiful. And the insides. So there you go. If you enjoyed the video today and you'd like to support my channel, I would love it if you could hit that like button and also consider subscribing to the channel. It greatly helps me in getting out my content to other crafters just like you. Thanks so much for stopping by today. I will put on the top my card making playlist, and I will also put my Saturday sketches and fun fold card series playlist. So if you want to catch up on the past episodes of that, they will be there. Thanks so much for stopping by. Until next time, like, subscribe, and all that jazz, and have an amazing day. Bye-bye.